श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमादेशी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद की। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की समवेत वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोहाभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधिवृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात् दशतार. So, today we are reading from Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 5. The chapter entitled The First Step in God Realization. Please repeat after me. tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam. Please. tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam. tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam. tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś. Mataji. tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam. tasmād bhārata sarvātmā bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaśya smartavyaś cecchatābhayam. Word meaning. tasmāt, for this reason, Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, sarvātmā, the Supersoul, Bhagavān, the Personality of Godhead, īśvaraḥ, the Controller, hariḥ, the Lord who vanquishes all miseries. śrotavyaḥ is to be heard, kīrtitavyaḥ to be glorified, ca also smartavyaḥ to be remembered, ca and icchatā of one who desires, abhayam freedom. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the Personality of Godhead, who is the Supersoul, the Controller, and the Savior from all miseries. Purport. In the previous verse, Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī has described how the foolish materially attached man are wasting their valuable time in the improvement of the material conditions of life by sleeping, indulging in sex life, developing economic conditions, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the air of oblivion. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of the law of fruitive actions. This entails the chain of birth and death in the 84 lakhs of species of life. The aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, the uncivilized man, and then again the human form, which is the chance for getting out of the cycle of fruitive action. Therefore, if one desires freedom from the vicious cycle, then one must cease to act as a karmi or enjoyer of the results of one's own work, good or bad. One should not do anything, either good or bad, on his own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. This process of doing work is recommended in the Bhagavad-gītā 9.27 also, where instruction is given for working on the Lord's account. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds, and thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about and glorifying the Lord are identical with the transcendental nature of the Lord, and by so doing, one will be always in the association of the Lord. This brings freedom from all sorts of fear. The Lord is the Supersoul, Paramatma, present in the hearts of all living beings. And thus, by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association of all in His creation. This process of hearing about and glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be, and it will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. There are many classes of human beings: the fruitive workers, the empiric philosophers, the mystic yogis, and ultimately the unalloyed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process is applicable for achieving the desired success. Everyone wants to be free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants the fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srimad-Bhāgavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority as Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī. By hearing about and glorifying the Lord, all a person's activities become molded into spiritual activities, and thus all conceptions of material miseries become completely vanquished. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I see so many exalted devotees here. Please bless me so that I can say a few words in glorification of the Lord and His devotees. So this is a very important verse. This chapter begins with the, practically speaking, Śukadeva Gosvāmī started speaking. Srimad-Bhāgavatam is known as instructions or teachings mainly given by Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So first canto there are many descriptions, but the direct speaking of Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī mainly started from second canto. And prior to this chapter, Parikshit Maharaj asked many questions. And one of his questions was, what should be the duty of a man, or what should be the duty of me who is at the verge of death? I am going to die very soon. I have only 7 days in my hand. So what should be my duty? Or in general, what should be the duty of a man who is at the verge of death? So practically speaking, all of us, we are all at the verge of death, isn't it? This is a common saying that at least Parikshit Maharaj knew that he has guarantee for 7 days. Before 7 days he will not die. Isn't it? But whether we have got that guarantee? No. We did not have that guarantee. We don't have that guarantee. We may die any moment. And there was one devotee called Shyam Sundar Jagannath Prabhu. Do you know him? He was giving Bhagavat class here. Just after class he told, I am feeling some pain in my chest. Then he went to the hospital on the same, just after class, he went to the hospital and immediately he left his body in the hospital without any notice. So, Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days, but we cannot say how long we will continue to survive in this, in this body. Any moment we can die, although our mind says, no, it is only a dream. You will not die. You will not die. Why you think so negatively? You will survive for many more years. Anyway, but the fact is that any moment, this is science, any moment we can die. There is no guarantee. Any moment we can die. So this was the question by Parikshit Maharaj, that what should be the duty of a person who is at the verge of death. So then Śukadeva Gosvāmī started speaking. Burya neshate prashna. Your question is very nice. Very good question. And it is for the benefit of all people. So in this way, now today we are discussing 5th verse. But every verse, if you read attentively, you will see like very, very costly gems, Every verse spoken by Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī are like costly gems, Very, very sweet, beautiful. Dehapatta kalatradishu atmasannashu asatsapi teshang pramatta nidhanam pasyannapi na pasyati. The general condition of materialistic people. They think I have so many relatives, I have so many sons or daughters, I have land, I have bank balance, I have property, so they will protect me. Although they can see that these things are of no use. At the time of need, when death comes, nothing can protect me, nothing can save me. We may think, okay, I have so much money, I can engage good doctors, they can at least minimize my pain. But sometimes you will see good doctors can also increase your pain. They will put some pipe here, pipe there, in different places. With pipe you will pass urine, with pipe you will pass stool, with pipe you will eat. So in this way, there is no guarantee that doctor can minimize your pain. There is no guarantee. Money is not a guarantee that it can minimize your pain. The only guarantee is Krishna. But people think that these things will protect me. Sometimes a poor man without money, they die without so much trouble. Even without going to hospital, they die very peacefully. And man with so much money, sometimes they go to hospital, costly hospital, they do bypass surgery. I know one political leader from West Bengal who was in hospital for 9 years. Can you believe? In hospital for 9 years. He had unlimited money. And he went to Germany, he went to America. He is a famous political leader in Bengal. He spent crores of rupees for treatment. And he was in coma for 9 years. Because so much attachment to live, to survive in this material world. When Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, at the verge of living body, governor from Chennai visited Prabhupada. And he told, I know very good hospital in Chennai. If you want, I can take you there and I will bear all the expenditure. If you please get admitted in a good hospital in Chennai. Prabhupada said, no, I don't want that. Because death is sure. Even if you are hospitalized, there is no guarantee that you will not die. Death is sure. So in this way, Śukadeva Gosvāmī started giving instruction. Nidraya hariyate naktam babhayano cha bhavaya devacharte hayarajan kutumba bharananava. How people they waste their time, very costly time. Time in human form of life is very, very costly. So how they waste? Nidraya hariyate naktam. Night is passed simply by sleeping. Nidraya hariyate naktam babhayano cha bhavaya. Age, duration of life is wasted by sexual indulgence. Divacharte hayarajan. Daytime is wasted simply by earning money. They are so much busy for earning money. Divacharte hayarajan. And after money, after earning some money, kutumba bharananava, the money is spent to maintain the relatives, son, daughters, etc. So in this way, people are wasting their human form of life. But this is increasing our fear. Fear. Parikshit Maharaj was at the verge of death. So it is fear. It is fear. Who is not afraid of death? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Bedhi. Four things are actually fearful. It is the cause of fear. Janma, we are taking birth after birth, 84 lakhs of species. Horrible condition. Sometimes as human, sometimes as animal, sometimes as aquatics. So that is fearful condition. Wasting millions of years simply taking birth. Then Janma Mrityu, birth means death. Every time we take birth, every time we die. So that is also fearful. Then Janma Mrityu Jara, old age. Old age is fearful, isn't it? Now I am 63 years old. When I was 30, 40, I did not understand so many things. Now I see sometimes my leg is paining. So I understand it's just beginning of old age. Now it will become 60 to 30, 60 to 70, 70 to 80 if I survive somehow. But the more I survive, the more the life is painful. Is it not? The more early I go, it is better. The more I survive, continue to increase my old age, actually I am increasing my suffering. Isn't it? So in this way, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Bedhi, disease. Who doesn't have disease? President of America had bypass surgery. What is his name? Bypass surgery. Who got bypass surgery? The previous president of America. So anyway, after I saw one patient who did bypass surgery. He was like living dead. He was alive, but could not speak so much. I mean, of course, sometimes they again regain their health. But in many cases, it is like after bypass surgery, people become like half dead. You understand? But still, I have to survive. I have to survive somehow or other. And that is what Prabhupada taught us. No, don't get so much worried that I must survive. The governor of Chennai wanted to give him a chance to survive more. But Prabhupada said, no, I don't want. Let me live body peacefully. So, and now Śukadeva Gosvāmī is coming to the real answer. What is that? My dear king, you want to be free from fearfulness. Icchatā abhayam. Abhayam means not to be afraid of. So, what is the medicine? Not to become afraid of. See, in Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Parikshit Maharaj was listening Srimad-Bhāgavatam for 7 days. So, the snake bite was not removed. Snake bite was not removed. After 7 days hearing of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Takshaka snake came and had bitten Parikshit Maharaj. So, it was not cured. Being bitten by snake was not solved. What was solved? What was solved? He was not afraid. He was not afraid. So, this is the point in today's verse, that if you want to remove your fear, then śrotavyaḥ, first step is hearing. Hearing what? In the previous verse he said, śrotavyaḥ rajendra ninang santi sahasrasa apashyatam atma tattam griheshu grihomedhinam. Those who are so much attached to the family life, they have so many nonsense topics to hear. Sratavadini Rajendra Ninangshanti Sahasrasa. They have thousands of topics to hear. If you go out of ISKCON, enter into any tea stall, you will find people are speaking so many. In Bengali it is called Pechal. Divasa Rajani, Pechal parite paro. Pechal means like croaking like frogs. A meaningless talk. So people are wasting their time in meaningless talk. They have thousands topics. What is this newspaper? 1,000 topics are there. All are useless topic. This is wasting our time, and this will actually, it will not give us any spiritual insight. It will make us more materialistic. And nowadays people are not even reading newspaper so much. They are watching mobile. Mobile. So many news are there. We cannot proudly say that we are all free from this watching news and all these things. Silently they will steal our time. This news or whatever. So many fun, this, that, And mobile, they nowadays, because this is also short. Previously, when I was college student before joining ISKCON, I used to watch cinema, film. One film minimum 3 hours. One film would continue for 3 hours. And nowadays, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, if you see YouTube, films or they are called telefilms. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, because they know that people are not so much, they don't have so much perseverance, they don't have so much patience. So, they make it through 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And people are watching one after another. Suddenly you see, oh, my 2 hours passed, my 1 hour passed. You understand? Sometimes devotees lament, but these are the arrangement of Maya. There are thousands of things, thousands of topics to hear. But if you want to be free from fear of birth, fear of old age, fear of death, fear of disease, and also ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithun, these are also causing fear. What I will eat tomorrow. Even those who are very rich men, they are also afraid of eating tomorrow. It is a surprise. So much money. They think, if I may have this problem, so I have to do some life insurance, this, that. I have to take some loan, like this, artificially increase the fear of economic problem. What is it? Ahar, economic problem. Ahara, nidra, sleeping. People are afraid. They are keeping security guard, this, that, Everywhere fear is there. This material life means fear. This is the main symptom of material life. And there is no other way to become free from fear. There is no other way. Because the problems will remain. Snake bite will be there even if you hear Bhagavatam. Proof is Parikshit Maharaj. People complain that what is the use of listening Srimad-Bhāgavatam? After listening Srimad-Bhāgavatam, he was bitten by snake. So what is the use? People complain. Answer is that he was bitten by snake, but he was not afraid. He was not afraid. Tam upajatam pratijantu vipra ganga cha devi dhrita mishe dijopasrishta kuhakas takshakava dasatu alam gayata vishnu gatha. My dear sages, my dear Brahmins present here, please bless me. Mother Ganga is also present here. My dear Mother Ganga, please bless me. Now, where is that Takshaka? Where is that snake bird who will come to bite me? Let him come. Let that snake bird come. He is welcoming death. He is welcoming danger. Why? Because he was free from fear. He just told, my dear sages, you continue glorifying the Lord. So this is the answer given in the beginning of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. If you want to be free from any fear, the door is open. We can become free from fear. 3 steps. Number 1, śrotavyaḥ. We have to hear sufficiently. What? What we will hear? There are so many things, but not so many things. We have to hear, I say practically, from Śrīla Prabhupada, mainly from Śrīla Prabhupada's lecture. And if you have more time, then his disciples, grand disciples, we can hear. But mainly, the person who has revolutionized the whole world, who has created a great revolution only within 8 years. His power we must identify, we must recognize his power of Srila Prabhupada. So, personally, in my own life, if I can manage time, I read Prabhupada's lecture, I read Prabhupada's books. Of course, that doesn't mean that I ignore the disciples of Prabhupada or I ignore Vaishnavas. No. If I can manage extra time, I'll read their books, I'll listen their lecture, but mainly my central attention, I feel, should be reading Srila Prabhupada's lecture, reading Srila Prabhupada's books. This is the main security, that if you can increase reading sufficiently Srila Prabhupada's books, this is step one, śrotavyaḥ. We have to hear Krishna Katha, śrotavyaḥ, then śrotavyaḥ, kīrtitavyaḥ. Then when we hear sufficiently, we can also speak sufficiently. The more we will hear, actually what we are doing, whatever we are hearing from Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to reproduce, we are trying to repeat. So if we don't hear, we cannot repeat also. So the more we hear, the more we can glorify the Lord. Because what Srila Prabhupada is doing, Srila Prabhupada, if you read his life, 24 hours he was practically speaking, he was preaching, he was reading. He read in his own life also, he read so many books. Even when he was famous as ISKCON founder, at that time he was reading his own book. He was every day reading his own book. And before writing his own book, he was reading Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, all the 6 Goswamis' books. He was reading so many books in his own life. And then same thing he reproduced in a simple, in a very lucid and we say with a startling clarity, very crystal clear. Whatever Prabhupada spoke, it was empowered by Krishna. That's why it is so crystal clear. Prabhupada speaking, Prabhupada writing, so clear. Most difficult topic, because sometimes I read books from Gauriya Math. Even Bengali is my mother tongue, very difficult to digest. Very difficult to digest. My mother tongue I cannot understand. Vaishnava literature is so tough. But when I read Srila Prabhupada's English, because of his presentation is so lucid, so clear. The style, I am sure it is gifted by Krishna. He prayed before going to America that please make my language easy to understand so that all these people can understand my words. So he was praying to Krishna and Krishna fulfilled his prayer. And that is proven when Prabhupada was speaking. His conversation, his books, written books, his lectures, everything is very clear. And if we read those books, even most difficult topic, most difficult subject will be very clear to us. We can very easily understand the toughest topic of Vaishnavism. And Prabhupada was such a great preacher. I was reading in his biography that before going to America, before starting ISKCON, he was in Jhansi, He was in Jhansi. One day, he was passing by one utensil shops. Utensils, aluminum. One man was selling aluminum utensils. So he knew Prabhupada. He knew that he is a great man and he is a very good devotee. So he called Prabhupada. Can you tell few words, few Krishna Katha? Can you tell? So there was no Bashashan, there was no even chair in his. Only there are piles of utensils, piles of big, pots. So Prabhupada sat on the top of those piles, top of those pots. There are many aluminum pots and Prabhupada sat there and he started speaking Krishna Katha and he was speaking for hours, sitting in that Bashashan, Bashashan made by aluminum pots. You understand? This is Srila Prabhupada. We must know, we must identify his special personality. We must recognize him. So we should hear sufficiently from Srila Prabhupada. Śrotavyaḥ, then kīrtitavyaḥ, then we should reproduce. We hear, and then we go and we preach. Same thing what we have heard. If we heard sufficiently, then we can speak sufficiently. Then we can preach. Kīrtitavyaścha. Śrotavyaḥ, kīrtitavyaścha, smartavyaḥ. Then these things will be memorized. Hearing, speaking. These things will be imprinted in our memory. Then other memory, dirty memory cannot touch our consciousness. All the time we will remember Krishna. And under that condition, you may face plane accident, you may face car accident, you may face cancer, you may face so many things, anything. But that will not be a problem. There are so many examples. Examples of Bhishmadev. He is considered as Mahajan. And how he left his body. His whole body was pierced with arrows. In the beginning he was feeling, it is written, some pain, not enough pain. Because of his celibacy whole life. Bhishmadev, celibacy is painkiller. Do you know that? Celibacy is a painkiller. If you can maintain celibacy, either man or woman, if you can maintain celibacy, it is a painkiller. If you lose your, sexual power, even with a little needle, if needle is pierced in your finger or somewhere, you will feel so much pain. But if you can maintain celibacy whole life, your pain will be minimized. So Bhishmadev was a perfect celibate whole life. So even though his whole body was pierced with arrows, he was feeling pain, but not so much. But finally Krishna came and touched Bhishmadev. When Krishna touched Bhishmadev, he was 100% painless. So Krishna is the painkiller, and Krishna Katha, topic about Krishna is the painkiller if we can hear from right source. And the best right source is Srila Prabhupada. So if we can hear śrotavyaḥ, then we glorify kīrtitavyaḥ, then we remember. All the time absorbed in Krishna's thought. Manmana bhava mad bhakta majjaji. There is no question of fear. Fearful situation will come. Sometimes we say, oh, such and such Maharaj, left body in car accident, such and such devotee left body in plane accident, in Nepal. 9 devotees left body in plane accident. In Ukraine, 1 or 2 devotees I heard they left body due to bombing. So in this way, situation may come. Dangerous situation may come. But if you have got this consciousness, Krishna consciousness, pure Krishna consciousness, true, not fake or duplicate, true Krishna consciousness, no fearful condition can make you afraid. Not only that, no pain can give you pain. No pain can give you pain. So pain is a mechanism to make you pure. Pain is a mechanism given by God so that you become serious to become pure. Otherwise, we will take it easily. Okay, let pain come. We will not be afraid of pain. But Krishna has created so much pain that you will be afraid of pain so that you try to become painless. If you are not afraid of pain, you will never try to become painless. And the way to become painless or to become free from the fear of pain, fear of miseries, is only way. There is only way. Nanna pantha vidyate ayanaya. There is no other second option or third option open. There is only one option open. We have to hear sufficiently. We have to speak sufficiently or glorify through kirtan, through speaking. We have to speak sufficiently and we have to remember sufficiently. Then there is no question of fear, there is no question of pain. Now, it is not theory. It is actual fact. Now, how much I will achieve, it is up to me. Prabhupada gave the example that birds are flying in the sky. They are flying with their individual power. One bird is flying, other bird cannot help. Of course, in childhood, the little so-called help they do. When birds are birdlings, then mother bird can show little bit. But when they are grown up, then every bird, they fly in the sky with their own strength. Other bird cannot help. Similarly, Prabhupada gave example of aeroplane pilot. Every pilot, they are flying with their own intelligence, with their own strength, with their own training. Pilot from other plane cannot help. So our life is exactly like independent birds, independent pilot. That what we will, how much fearlessness we will achieve is 100% depending on me only me. I can get training from other devotees. I need their mercy, but ultimately I have to fly. The flying is individual. I have to fly myself. I have to achieve that qualification. so that under any dangerous situation I am not afraid of, and also if I am sufficiently develop my Krishna consciousness, the pain also cannot touch me. So that is very, very, difficult to believe. But this is what Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī is claiming. Now if you have faith in this claim, that we must try to hear Krishna Katha sufficiently from right source to glorify Krishna and remember Krishna all the time. And what is the proof? The test is always there. Maya will test you every second, every minute. Maya will test you. Are you sufficiently ready for that? Now if I see, no, my mind is still attracted by some movie, that means I am not attracted to Krishna Katha. So Maya is giving test whether you are sufficiently trained up or not. So from that test I can understand I have to read more, I have to hear more, I have to associate with devotees more, I have to preach more, I have to remember more, so that I forget materialistic life altogether. And if you are in that stage, Krishna will also maintain you. That many devotees I have talked to, many devotees they say, yes, Krishna is maintaining. Sometimes without any work. There are many devotees I know, no work, zero work, only preaching. Zero work, but they are well maintained. Whatever you need, if you need one dhuti, you get 5 dhutis. You understand? I have seen, even in my own life, I am not a good preacher, but even in my own life, at present, everyone knows, I stopped any kind of, so-called work, only trying to give little time in preaching. But there is no problem for eating, sleeping, there is no problem, economic problem or anything. So I am 100% sure, I have this, my personal realization I am sharing with you. If we are absorbed, Krishna says, tabat karmani kurbita, no nirvidyata javata, matkatha sravanada uva, shraddha javanna jayate. You must work as long as you don't have full faith in Krishna Katha. Krishna says, you must work as long as you don't have full faith in Krishna Katha. Once you achieve full faith in Krishna Katha, no need to work. Krishna is also very practical. You want to work hard. I have seen rickshaw-puller, old days, 70 years old, 90, 80 years old, trying to pull rickshaw. You understand? So, they have to work because, lack of Krishna consciousness. They have to work. Tabat karmani kurbita. You must work. Tabat. So long as, as long as you are attached to materialistic life, as long as you don't have faith in Krishna Katha, you must work. But once you achieve full faith in Krishna Katha, your work, so-called work, will become zero. No need to work. Without work, you will get your maintenance. Without work, all fear of materialistic life will go. Fear will become zero. So this is the highest gift of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, that simply by hearing Krishna Katha, glorifying Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, you will become free from all the fearful situation of this material life. Narayana parasarvino kutaschana bibbheti. Sargo apavarganarake shopi tullartha darshana. If you are absorbed in the thought of Narayan, or Adi Narayan is called Krishna. If you are absorbed in the original Narayan Krishna, then no kutaschana bibbheti, nothing can make you fearful. Nothing can make you fearful. And that we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. He was not fearful. He, in old days, at the age of 70, he went to America with 40 rupees. Do you think he was afraid? No, he was not afraid. And he got 2 heart attacks. He was afraid? No. Otherwise, he could run to the cardiologist after, getting down from Jaladut. He did not think of going to cardiologist. He did not think. He went to Agarwal's house. He never met cardiologist. Understand? At least after 2 heart attacks, as far as I know, he never met cardiologist. He was not afraid. That in old days people are afraid. Sometimes I see recently, I saw that one devotee, he was one son of parents. So he joined ISKCON and father crying, mother crying, so much crying. It is also fact, they are fearful. That in old days, the father is telling, in my old days, I will die on the road. Who will take care of me? They are so much fearful. But Prabhupada, he had sons, he had relatives, sons, business, so many things, but he went alone, opposite. No, that man was crying that my son has become devotee, who will take care of me? And Prabhupada had sons, he left his sons. In old days, generally when son comes to join ISKCON, parents sometimes cry. But Prabhupada's case is opposite. Sons are there, he left. He left in old days, he was not fearful, he was not afraid. And he went to America and he became successful in 8 years. Because he was not fearful, Krishna honored him. Okay, you are my right devotee, you are not fearful, because you are absorbed in Krishna's thought, so I will bless you. So in this way, we can cross over the ocean of fearfulness simply by becoming absorbed in Krishna Katha. So time is, I think, almost, there are 10-15 minutes. So I like to keep some time for question, answer, comments. Please raise your hand. Okay. Please give him the hand mic.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, that how do we know that our bhakti is not for liberation?
How do we know our bhakti is?
Not for liberation. How do we know? There's many times that situations comes that many devotees ask that how do we know that our bhakti only for Krishna, not for liberation? So how do we know it practically?
Actually, when you are absorbed in Krishna's thought, you need not understand also whether you are going to get liberation or not. Liberation is already there. Those who are devotees, they automatically get liberation. But the more you are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, pure Krishna consciousness, and the judgment will come from Krishna. The judgment will come from Krishna. As far as I am concerned, I should be alert that my devotion should not be motivated by the desire of liberation, by desire of all this materialistic achievement. My devotion should not be motivated. From my side, as far as possible, I should be alert. But the main judgment will be done by Krishna, whether you are motivated devotee or pure devotee, that only Krishna can judge.
Any symptom? Yeah.
Symptom, I don't know, but if you follow 4 regulative principles, if you if you are engaged in 9 kinds of devotional service, if your mind is not disturbed by materialistic allurement, these are the symptoms. Prabhupada said, when I am hungry or not hungry, do I go to a doctor and ask, my dear doctor, can you check my stomach whether I am hungry or not hungry? Do I go to doctor to verify my hunger? Who verifies?
I.
So if you are satisfied, if your mind is not disturbed by the allurement of Maya, you can understand that yes, there is little progress. Although devotees are always humble, they always think, I cannot do anything. I am very weak devotee. But at least if you can follow 4 regulative principles, if your mind is not disturbed by materialistic allurement, then you can understand that you are progressing.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Mataji has a question. His Grace Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu, you have any comment? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Can you please elaborate on the difference between service, devotional service, and work, with practical examples? Thank you, Prabhu.
Devotional service on?
And work, regular work. With practical examples.
Yeah, work means selfish. Work means selfish. And devotion means love. Prabhupada gave crude example of mother loving her child. So, in general, maximum cases, mother do not expect that the child will become grown up, will become a doctor and will maintain me. Generally, mother, they don't expect like this. Whether he maintains me or rejects me, but I have to take care of him. So that is best example of selfless love in material world. Love between children and mother is the best selfless example of love. So love means selfless. Love means selfless. You love Krishna, whether, my dear Krishna, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, either you kick me or embrace me, or you become visible or remain invisible, make me broken-hearted by not being present in front of me, but still you are my beloved. So that is love. Selfless, completely selfless. And work means I have some selfish interest. I want to go heaven, or in this world I want to have nice house, nice car, nice wife, nice husband. Some material desire is there. We work with material motivation. That is work. And we serve God with love only. That is bhakti. Anna bhilashita shunyam. My other selfish interest is zero. That is called love, pure love of Godhead. Okay? And the real pleasure is there. It is difficult to understand in the beginning, but real pleasure is in love, not in selfish struggle. Understand? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Raise hand so that, okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for nice class.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
as you told very sweetly and rightly and nicely, work till we have full faith on Krishna, and you quote one sloka, beautiful sloka. So can you repeat it, that sloka, and from which book it has been taken?
You explain a little more so that I can understand which sloka you are referring to.
To work till we have full faith on Krishna. You told
What?
that? Work till we have full faith on Krishna.
Tavat karmani kurbita.
Yes.
Tavat karmani kurbita. Tavat means so long. Karmani means work. Kurbita means has to be done. So long work has to be done. Work means not devotion. Not devotion. Work means selfish interest. Tavat karmani kurbita. So long work has to be done. No nirvidyata jabata. As long as you are not free from the attachment of materialistic life. No nirvidyata jabata. Matkatha sravanado va shraddha jaban no jayate. As long as you are not having much faith in Krishna Katha, you must work. And when you have sufficient faith in Krishna Katha, you are released from the burden of work. Understand? It is, yeah. Okay?
From Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Prabhuji, this sloka?
Maybe. Okay, you collect from him. Okay, any other question or comment? I think time is there. Let me check. Hare Krishna. I wanted to purify myself. So that's why whatever I spoke for my own purification. I am just sharing my own mood. Okay, Mataji, do you have any question? Any other question? Raise hand. A comment also. If you have any comment. Tishyanti cha ramanti cha. We are sharing each other's thought. In this way, we help each other.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for beautiful lecture. My comments on this. One Prabhuji just now asked, how do we check that we are progressing in our devotional service? And practical ways. He asks this question, practical ways. So I just wish to share a bit. If I am getting up morning for Mangala Arati, if I am getting out 4 o'clock, and it is a routine, and somehow miss that, and I got up at 5 o'clock, for example.
Then you miss Mangala Arati then?
Every day I get up at 4 o'clock for the Mangala Arati, and that is a routine life. And assume someday I got up at 5 o'clock because of previous day's hectic work. And throughout the day, you'll be keep repenting, why did I get up late? Why did I get up late? That is an indicator for bhakti, that you're missing that routine. For example, we are doing deity worship. And one day if you are not doing, and you had something, some food, prasadam, then I'll be thinking, missing that that routine part. That I used to do deity worship, I could not do today. We're doing chanting 16 rounds, or somehow my chanting I could not complete today. That missing itself is an indicator for the bhakti.
Yeah. Yeah, so answer is very clear that if you are performing vidhi work, we are on the level of vidhi marg. We have many rules and regulations, and if you are performing all the rules and regulations, that means you are progressing. If you are not performing, that means you are regressing. And there is another example that if you fly in the sky by aeroplane, sometimes you may not understand the speed of aeroplane. Sometimes aeroplane is flying very speedily, but it looks like the aeroplane is static in the sky, standing in the sky. Sometimes it appears, isn't it? So sometimes we may not be able to understand also our progress. It is better to remain humble that I am not a good devotee. I am very ordinary devotee trying to become devotee. But at the same time, these are the practical points. If we can follow all the rules and regulations, that means you are progressing, and if you cannot follow, if you are missing some rules and regulations, we are regressing. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Sachidulal Prabhu, any question or comment?
Can I also add one point to his?
Okay.
Sorry, thank you, Prabhu. So it was a very inspirational class, Prabhu. Thank you so much. In this context, Srila Prabhupada had told, definitely you'll know that, that when somebody asked Srila Prabhupada that what is the indication that, Srila Prabhupada said, you will feel one day that why only 16 rounds, why not 16,000 rounds?
Yes.
So that could be an indication, because we might be happy while completing the rounds of 16 rounds.
Yeah.
But we feel that chant more, that could be an indication. Hare
They
Krishna.
say
Thank you so much.
chanting is always joyful. If you can finish 16 rounds, I finished 16 rounds. I finished 16 rounds. Happiness, so much happiness. I finished my rounds today. Happiness. Okay, I leave my bit back. This is one kind of happiness. Another kind of happiness is that I finished 16 rounds, now you want to chant more rounds. That is real progress. That is real progress. So under any circumstances, chanting makes you happy. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so time is over. Okay, thank you very much. I am perfectly now 9 o'clock. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad-Bhāgavatam ki, Samavata Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanjana, Hari Hari Bol.